You think you're in control. You think you make your own choices. You think your opinions are yours. You believe no one is pulling the strings. But what if that's just an illusion? Right now, you're being manipulated without even realizing it. Advertisers shape what you desire. Politicians play on your fears. Social media hijacks your attention. Toxic people twist your emotions to serve their own agenda. And they don't force you. They don't have to. They use hidden psychological weaknesses to guide your decisions, control your reactions, and steal your freedom right under your nose. The Stoics saw right through this centuries ago. They knew that the greatest battle isn't against the world, it's against your own mind. Because if you don't control yourself, someone else will. In this video, we're exposing 12 psychological weaknesses that make you easy to manipulate, and the Stoic strategies to break free. If you don't know these traps, you're already caught in them. Most people think they make decisions based on logic, but in reality, the mind is wired to react instead of think. Someone insults you, you feel anger. A shocking headline appears, you panic. A deal says limited time offer, you rush to buy. These reactions feel natural, but they aren't always rational. They happen because the brain is constantly looking for shortcuts to make decisions fast. And this is exactly what manipulators take advantage of. Most people are ruled by emotions, habits, and external influences. The Stoics believed that if you don't control your mind, someone else will. And history proves this. Why do people buy things they don't need? Because advertisers create desire using emotions, not logic. Why do people spread fake news? Because fear spreads faster than truth. Why do people follow toxic leaders? Because manipulation is easier when emotions replace reason. Most people never stop to question their reactions. They just follow impulses, habits, and external influences. That's why manipulation is so powerful. Manipulators don't attack your logic. They bypass it completely. They know what triggers people: fear, desire, insecurity. Fear makes people obedient. Desire makes people impulsive. Insecurity makes people easy to control. Instead of making you think, they make you feel. And once you're emotional, you're easier to manipulate. Examples of how manipulation works: news media. They use fear-driven headlines to make you panic and keep watching. Marketing. They make you believe you're missing out so you buy more. Social media. They trigger outrage so you stay engaged and addicted. Toxic people. They guilt trip you so they can control you. This isn't an accident. It's strategy. If you don't recognize manipulation, you risk making bad financial decisions, buying things you don't need because of clever advertising, believing false information, reacting emotionally instead of thinking critically, letting others control your emotions and actions, losing your independence without realizing it. But here's the good news. The Stoics had a solution. They believed that the only way to break free from manipulation is to understand your own weaknesses. Recognize when you're being influenced. Train your mind to resist emotional manipulation. Develop self-control, logic, and emotional discipline. Because once you master yourself, nobody else can control you. The Stoics warned about manipulation centuries ago. They believed that if you don't control your emotions and thoughts, someone else will. Here are 12 psychological weaknesses that make you easy to manipulate, and how to break free using Stoic wisdom. 1. Emotional reactivity. When your emotions control you. If you react emotionally, you are easy to control. Manipulators don't argue with logic, they trigger your emotions. They know that when you feel angry, afraid, or desperate, you stop thinking clearly. How manipulators use this? Politicians use fear to push an agenda. Advertisers make you feel insecure so you buy their product. Toxic people make you angry to control the conversation. Stoic rule: pause before reacting. Think first. Before reacting, ask, is this an emotional trap? Take a breath and separate feelings from facts. Respond with logic, not emotion. Example: the Stoics believed in staying calm under pressure. When Rome was falling apart, Marcus Aurelius didn't panic. He stayed rational and focused on solutions. Lesson: if you control your emotions, you control your life. 2. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, when urgency makes you act without thinking. Marketers use urgency to make you act without thinking. Limited time offer. Only 3 left in stock. Everyone else is doing it. They create a fear of missing out, so you panic and make impulsive decisions. Stoic rule. If you truly need something, it will still be valuable tomorrow. If something is truly important, waiting won't change its value. Make choices based on logic, not pressure. Ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I just afraid of missing out? Example: Seneca warned against chasing distractions. He believed that people waste their lives pursuing things that don't truly matter. Lesson: if you can resist urgency, you can make smarter choices. 3. The need for approval, when praise and criticism control you. If you constantly seek validation from others, you can be easily controlled by praise or rejection. If someone flatters you, you trust them, even if they're manipulating you. If someone criticizes you, you change your actions to win their approval. If a group disagrees with you, you follow them instead of thinking for yourself. Stoic rule: seek self-respect, not external approval. Your value doesn't depend on other people's opinions. Praise and criticism are just noise. Do what is right, not what is popular. Example: Socrates was sentenced to death because he refused to follow the crowd. He didn't care about approval, he cared about truth. Lesson: if you need approval, others can control you. If you only seek self-respect, no one can. 4. Guilt and obligation, when others use guilt to control you. Manipulators love to make you feel guilty, because guilt makes people easier to control. After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me? If you really cared, you would do this for me. You owe me. They don't want you to think logically. They want you to feel bad, so you give in. Stoic rule: responsibility is based on reason, not guilt. If something is right, do it because it's right, not because of guilt. If someone uses guilt to manipulate you, question their motives. Ask yourself, is this truly my responsibility, or is someone trying to control me? Example: Epictetus, who was once a slave, believed that you only owe what aligns with your values, not what others demand. Lesson: if guilt controls you, others will too. If reason controls you, no one will. 5. Desire for comfort, when comfort makes you weak. People avoid discomfort at all costs. They want things to be easy. They choose comfort over growth, pleasure over discipline, and safety over challenge. And that's exactly why they are easy to control. How manipulators use this: governments promise security to make people accept restrictions. Advertisers sell products by making you fear discomfort. Toxic people keep you complacent by discouraging change. The Stoic rule: train yourself to embrace discomfort. Growth comes from facing challenges, not avoiding them. The more you train yourself to endure discomfort, the harder it is for others to control you. Ask yourself, am I avoiding something just because it's hard? Example: Roman Stoics practiced voluntary hardship. They took cold baths, fasted, and slept on the floor to train themselves to need less and fear nothing. Lesson: if comfort controls you, others can too. If you train yourself for discomfort, you become unstoppable. 6. Herd mentality, when you follow without thinking. Most people follow the crowd. They assume that if everyone else is doing it, it must be right. They don't question authority. They don't challenge the norm, and manipulators know this. That's why they create trends, influence social beliefs, and control the masses, because people prefer to fit in rather than think. How manipulators use this: the media pushes narratives that people accept without question. Social pressure makes people agree with the majority, even when they disagree. Fear of standing out keeps people silent, even when they know something is wrong. The Stoic rule: think independently. Question everything. Just because the majority believes something doesn't make it true. Don't let fear of standing alone keep you from using your mind. Ask yourself, am I thinking or just following? Example: Marcus Aurelius refused to follow trends. He didn't make decisions based on popularity. He focused on reason and principles. Lesson: if you follow the crowd without thinking, you are easy to control. If you think for yourself, no one can manipulate you. 7. Fear of conflict, when avoiding problems makes you weak. Most people hate confrontation. They avoid difficult conversations. They stay silent when they should speak up. They let things slide just to keep the peace. But avoiding conflict doesn't solve problems, it makes them worse. And manipulators use this fear to control you. How manipulators use this? They pressure you into saying yes when you want to say no. They guilt trip you into silence. They take advantage of your fear of upsetting others. The Stoic rule: face problems directly with calm strength. Avoiding problems only gives them more power. Speaking up isn't about aggression, it's about truth. Ask yourself, am I avoiding this just because I don't want conflict? Example: Seneca believed that handling issues with logic, not avoidance, was the key to solving them. He didn't run from difficult conversations, he faced them with calmness and reason. Lesson: if you fear conflict, others can control you. If you face problems calmly, you take back your power. 8. The illusion of control. When you waste energy on what you can't change. People want to control everything. They stress over the future. They try to change other people. They get frustrated when things don't go their way, and that frustration makes them easy to manipulate. How manipulators use this? They create fear of the unknown so you feel desperate for control. They make you feel responsible for things outside your power. They keep you trapped in frustration over things you can't change. The Stoic rule: focus only on what's within your power. Some things are in your control. Some things aren't. If you waste energy trying to control the uncontrollable, you lose. Ask yourself, is this something I can actually change, or should I let it go? Example: Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from letting go of what you can't control. He didn't stress over external events, he focused only on his own actions and mindset. Lesson: if you fight reality, you suffer. If you accept what you can't control, no one can manipulate your emotions. 9. Attachment to material things. When possessions control you. Most people believe that happiness comes from having more. More money, more luxury, more status. And this is exactly why they are easy to manipulate. If you believe happiness is tied to possessions, then marketers can control you. They make you believe you need the latest gadget, car, or fashion trend. Employers can control you. They keep you in a job you hate by dangling a bigger paycheck. Society can control you. It convinces you that your worth is based on what you own. The Stoic rule: own things, but don't let them own you. True happiness comes from within, not from what you buy. If you need less, no one can manipulate you with promises of more. Ask yourself, would I still be happy if I lost all my possessions? Example: Seneca was one of the richest men in Rome, but he practiced living simply so that wealth would never control him. He understood that if you depend on money for happiness, you are a prisoner to it. Lesson: if possessions control you, others can too. But if you detach from material things, you are truly free. 10. Fear of change. When you stay stuck in the past. Change is uncomfortable. Most people resist it, even when staying the same is worse. They stay in bad jobs, toxic relationships, and limiting beliefs just because they are familiar. And that's exactly why manipulators use fear of change to control people. Governments create fear of the unknown to make people accept the status quo. Businesses use stability as a trap. Don't leave, this is safe. People stay in bad situations because they fear what comes next. The Stoic rule: accept change as part of life. Everything changes. You can't stop it, but you can learn to flow with it. Resisting change leads to suffering. Embracing it leads to strength. Ask yourself, am I avoiding change just because I'm afraid? Example: Marcus Aurelius embraced impermanence. He knew that nothing lasts forever, and the only real choice is how we respond to change. Lesson: if you fear change, others can use that fear to control you. But if you embrace it, you become flexible and unshakable. 11. The desire for quick rewards. When instant gratification makes you weak. Most people want quick results, fast money, fast success, fast pleasure. And that's exactly why they are easy to exploit. Manipulators use impatience to trap you. Get-rich-quick schemes prey on people who don't want to wait. Social media addiction is built on quick dopamine hits. Bad habits, junk food, gambling, procrastination exist because people choose short-term pleasure over long-term growth. The Stoic rule: patience leads to lasting success. Real success takes time. Nothing great happens overnight. Short-term pleasure leads to long-term problems. Ask yourself, am I choosing what's easy or what's meaningful? Example, the Stoics valued long-term thinking. They trained themselves to resist short-term pleasure in exchange for lasting wisdom, discipline, and inner peace. Lesson: if you chase instant gratification, others can use that weakness to control you. But if you master patience, you become unstoppable. 12. Victim mentality. When you believe you are powerless. This is one of the most dangerous weaknesses of all. If you believe you are powerless, then you never fight back against manipulation. You blame others instead of improving yourself. You accept a life of limitations because you think you have no control. And that's exactly what manipulators want. Governments want you to feel powerless. That way, you don't resist. Toxic people want you to feel helpless. That way, you rely on them. Society benefits when you feel stuck. That way, you don't challenge the system. The Stoic rule: you always control your response. You can't control everything, but you can always control yourself. The moment you take responsibility, you become powerful. Ask yourself, am I blaming others instead of taking control of my actions? Example, Epictetus was born a slave. He had no control over his situation, but he never saw himself as a victim. Instead, he mastered his own mind, proving that even in chains, a person can be free. Lesson: if you see yourself as a victim, others can control you. But if you take control of your own life, no one can stop you. The first step to breaking free from manipulation is recognizing your own weaknesses. Most people are controlled because they don't realize how easily they are influenced. They react emotionally, follow the crowd, fear discomfort, and chase short-term pleasure. But the Stoics believed that a strong mind is immune to manipulation. They taught that mental strength doesn't come from controlling the world, it comes from controlling yourself. And if you take anything away from this video, I want you to at least do 3 things. 1. Practice emotional detachment. Manipulators use your emotions against you. If you react without thinking, you are easy to control. Pause before reacting. Ask, is this an emotional trap? Stay calm. Emotions are temporary. Logic is permanent. 2. Strengthen your logic. Most people believe what they are told without questioning it. Think critically. Ask why. Look for facts. Question everything. If you use logic, no one can trick you with fear, guilt, or social pressure. 3. Master your desires. If you need money, approval, or comfort, you are easy to control. If you need nothing, no one has power over you. Own things, but don't let them own you. Control your desires, and you control your life. When you master these 3 skills, you become impossible to manipulate. Because once you control your own mind, no one else can. Manipulation is everywhere, but you don't have to be controlled. Most people live their whole lives as puppets, reacting, following, obeying. But the Stoics proved that no one can control you unless you allow it. Choose reason over impulse. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose self-mastery over manipulation. Once you do, you become truly free. Stay strong, stay wise, and as always, stay stoic. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.